to the North Florida Sports Network. Happy Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. We got a great show for you, man. We're looking forward to the ACC Championship. Right after we look back at the latest rankings, FSU is number 4. Nothing to worry about, Jimmy. Trying to get everybody worried over here.
I was just trying to prepare him for the worst, man.
Yeah. But the rankings were out. FSU was 4. No surprise there. Washington 3. Michigan and Georgia to round out the top 4. If everything plays with, 4 undefeated teams, they probably won't even meet up.
Yeah.
I bet they said that. Like, if they all win, there ain't no need to even have any conversation. Right?
Right.
But you got to have a conversation.
I become more and more convinced that they're just using the BCS.
Well, I'm all for that. Yeah. Well, I would say you have to look at it like you have 2 playoff games already. And albeit at the winners in, losers out. Now, you don't have that in the ACC or the Big 12 because of Louisville and Oklahoma State. But in the SEC and the Pac-12, winning you're in, but losing you're out.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's what I see. And you got it would be 1 versus 8. That's Georgia against Alabama. Then in Pac-12 you got 3 versus 5. So those are like playoff matches. Those are like quarterfinal matches in the Wimbledon, man. That's what you got right now.
Yeah,
and,
you got
to look at it that Florida, yes, people are going to be, well, Florida State's playing Louisville or Oklahoma. Texas is going to be the one that needs someone to lose the most.
Right, because got a loss.
Yeah.
We'd be in the same spot if Florida State had a loss. They'd be on the outside looking in because they're only playing Louisville.
Right. Well, that was the big key, is having Ohio State behind Oregon.
Yeah, I think the committee's made a statement. They clearly aren't interested in a team that's not playing in their conference championship, unless a lot of dominoes fall.
Right.
They don't, they don't want to hear from Ohio State.
Well, when you get to comparing, the question is if Alabama wins, well, Georgia's not going to have that conference championship. They're not going to have that compared to a Pac-12 champion, an SEC champion in Alabama that would have just beaten them, an ACC champion if it's Florida State undefeated, and a Big 12 champ. So that's why if you lose, you're out, and that's how it should be. And, just think last year.
The only thing last year,
TCU was undefeated and lost to Kansas State in the Big 12 championship and still made the playoff.
Yeah. Your theory will be tested if Alabama beats Georgia.
Well, I know, but that's where I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I'd hate.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But if Georgia's out, if they lose, they're not going to. But if they lose, they're not if you stack up the resumes, they're not going to have that conference championship that all the other teams would have.
Right.
And
basically their resume.
And I know they look great and everything, but it should matter. It should matter. Those things should matter. You shouldn't. I mean, didn't it feels a little bit weird where you have the conference, you win the SEC, but you'd lose or you'd win the national championship, but you lose your conference. So it shouldn't be that anyway. So this is winning you're in. This is what's great about college football. This is what's great about the matchup Saturday night. And you enjoy it. Enjoy it because it's the last time. It's the last time it's going to happen.
It is. And that, I expect Georgia to beat Alabama, so I don't think it'll happen. But if Alabama were to beat Georgia, this being the last time of the 4, I would not put it past them to pull some shenanigans. First time ever that previous seasons has been used in the momentum to push a team in the playoffs. And that will be what it is if that happens and Georgia makes it. It won't be as much about this season as it.
Well, yeah, but that's not going to happen.
No, I don't think it will either. I think Georgia is truly the best team in the country.
And if they're not, they'll lose, and they could.
Yeah,
They're not then. So.
I would say they have to play the toughest opponent, obviously, out of the unbeaten teams in the conference title.
No.
Yeah.
What about Oregon? Washington.
What about?
They're playing Oregon.
So?
I mean, you're saying Alabama has the toughest opponent?
No, I'm saying Georgia. I'm saying Alabama is better than Oregon.
Okay. That's not what the committee's saying, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you hear Kirby Smart talk about Alabama, man. He's comparing Jalen Monroe to like a combo of Tim Tebow.
Well, they're a different team. They're a different team.
And Lamar Jackson. And so that's what he's great at.
Yeah. I don't expect Georgia to lose, but I think nobody wants to play Alabama in the playoff.
No, because that way they're going to have beaten Georgia.
Right.
And that's when that deserves its respect. But that's a big if. Everybody, this like if mayhem happens only if Georgia loses.
Yeah, that's really the only way that
it would just be a big shocker. Wow, Georgia's out. But that's what makes the game so much more appealing to me, is that this is it. This is the last time you'll have a chance to win and you're in. Lose, you're out.
I kind of have a question though, like just a hypothetical. Let's say Oregon playing Washington. Penix gets hurt first drive, out for the game. Oregon squeaks out a win against Washington. How are they going to view that in terms of impressive if everybody else plays the starting quarterback and say Texas wins handily? And let's say Florida State does lose, so it opens up things for all those.
You're saying Oregon would win with Bo Nix?
Yeah, they'd still have Bo Nix, but they'd be playing Washington.
They're setting that up where that's winning you're in, man.
Well, I hear people trying to discredit Florida State, people at ESPN.
That's what they're doing, man. But you have to push the narrative right now. Florida State is the team right now who lost their quarterback.
Right, but playing against a team that loses their quarterback in the beginning of the game, would that count against Oregon if it came to comparing them against, say, Texas? Or even Ohio State.
You have to do remember what Ohio State did against Wisconsin in that Big Ten championship. They beat the living hell out of it.
Right.
So Texas needs to come out and try to put up 70.
Yeah.
And win 70-0. Where oh my God. Like that. Yeah, that's what you need to do if you're Texas. You need to come out and just say, oh my God. Because you have a loss.
You have a loss.
Florida State, just win. You have a backup quarterback you're going against.
If you don't have a loss, it shouldn't matter.
I know that Louisville lost to a mid-tiered SEC team, but hey, Auburn lost to New Mexico State by like 3 scores and about to beat Alabama. So get out of here with that crap. I'm just glad you have to do what the committee has valued is wins and losses, as it should be. You got 4 undefeated teams. If there remains 4 undefeated teams, you'll have those 4 in the last 4 of the playoff. That's what you want.
Yeah, I agree with you. 4 undefeated conference winners, that's who's going.
Now, they'll try to jump Oregon. I think we'll jump Florida State.
I think no matter who
for matchups.
I think no matter who wins the Pac-12 title, that winner is going. Yeah,
and the
probably 3.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, they'll have the
Georgia's 1 unless they lose.
Yeah,
then Michigan's 2 unless they lose. That's what that is.
And it'll just stay chalk, just
and
like
then
that.
The Pac-12's getting 3. Florida State, if they win, we didn't see him. We're not going to put him at 3 because of the quarterback thing. So.
Right.
Whatever. You either play Michigan or Georgia.
Yeah.
So
take your pick, man.
Right.
And honestly, you're most likely going to have to play Georgia. If you want to win a title, you're going to have to play Georgia. That's just how it goes. Man.
Right. Well, right now, Florida State hasn't won an ACC championship since.
Yeah, we're getting way ahead of ourselves.
So they got a tough Louisville team. Florida State did set a record 25 members of the all ACC honorable mention teams. Isn't that impressive, huh?
Yeah, well, they have like eight first teamers, 6 first teamers.
That's right.
Something like that. I can't.
You tell me.
I can't remember. It's 8 or 6. JT was the quarterback. That's all that I really
Player of the year as well.
Yeah, and they counted Keon Coleman a few times. I mean, he's on there at 3 different spots, which is pretty impressive. You know, he's first-team receiver, then the all-purpose player, and also the first-team punt returner.
Trey Benson, second-team running back because of Louisville's running back's first team, and he's really good.
Yeah.
As well as their receiver.
Who else was the first-team running back? There were 2 first-team running backs over Benson. Might have been the guy from North Carolina, Amarian Hampton. There's a lot of talent in the conference, man.
Right. There's a lot of talent on this FSU team.
Shout out to Darius Washington making first team. D-Wash.
That's right. Emmanuel as well. Was he first team?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Emmanuel's going to be out of eligibility. We can get Washington back. I think that might be somebody that they have to make a financial commitment to kind of keep him from exploring his options. And he's a volatile piece of the offensive line.
So, nothing really. It's coming down to the last weekend, man, and you have a game for a championship to go 13-0. So I saw The Rock 13-0, do it for 13. Man, fires you up. There's not going to be any lack of motivation in this game.
No, that's not going to be a problem.
It's about execution.
Yeah, you're playing. You know, this is a really good Louisville team, regardless of what happened last week. It just, you know, they haven't been in this position either. So that's something that both teams are going to have to kind of adjust to. Going out there and having this kind of stage, you know, this opportunity.
Right.
They're a good team, though, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, before we get really into the nitty-gritty of that matchup, we forgot to do the unrealized moment of last week.
Yeah. Who are the nominees? We got Hugh Freeze and Auburn for blowing it.
Unrealized.
Like, what are you doing, man?
The nominees are, yes, Hugh Freeze.
4th and 31, and you have a QB spy. So there's a guy just sitting in the middle of the field watching Milroe run around and throw it and not doing anything. And the defensive back is one-on-one with a receiver in the corner of the end zone. Horrible play by the defensive back, too. I mean, it was awful.
Unrealized idea. Unrealized.
I'm going to nominate Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
He was pretty fired up.
He was fired up.
Hated Hayton.
May have had
really
a little
happy. Pharmaceutical
assistance, maybe.
Allegedly.
We
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like he was really feeling it.
Somebody knows.
Somebody knows. God knows.
God knows. You hear that, Tebow? Ronnie Van Zant saw you.
Right. Tebow, with his, we're not going to lose. I think he was feeling it, thinking Florida was going to win.
Yeah, he was just really, really excited to be there and really thankful for Holly Rowe and all the amazing work that she does for that wonderful network.
Unrealized idea. Unrealized.
That's right, Teebs.
I'm going to nominate Matt Berry, host
Ooh, yeah.
of College Football
Was
Final.
he trying to push us at 6?
He did on his rankings. Again, still talking about it, though, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about it.
But yeah,
you know,
he didn't like it.
He could go be the host at Hollywood Access.
Facts, the truth.
You know, people have stuck.
Politicking doesn't deserve a spot, even though, unfortunately, that's all this sport is, and it seems to be, especially this last year when there's only 4 teams. At least next year, you'll have automatic qualifiers, and then next year you'll have one of these 4 loss teams are going to upset somebody.
Dude, that team banging on that 13th best team is going to be just hollering.
But anyway, he had FSU at 6th.
Yeah. Well,
Unrealized idea.
that's an
wrong.
unrealized
They were
idea.
4th.
We're 4th.
Thank goodness that the committee is in reality land.
You know what, Matt? We're going to actually do the exact opposite of what you think.
I don't know about it's truth if you believe it. So yes.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
That's right. It's not a lie if you believe it. So I agree with you I agree with that as well.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. So do we have any more nominees?
Yeah, we sure do.
Who do we have?
We got Mr. They're not going to fire me. I got an ironclad buyout. I got at least 5 years. Dana Holgorsen.
Oh my gosh, we get a double.
Unrealized idea.
Double.
Unrealized.
Thought you were just going to drink your way to success, huh, Dana? Not in Houston. You know what? Because they fire coaches for going 8.
Hey, water boy! Yes, Mr. Coach Bayou. You're fired!
He's out of there.
Yep, Dana Holgorsen is fired.
I mean, you lose to UCF, you're done.
Yes, Mr. Coach Bayou. You're fired!
So those are the 4. I still think it's got to be Auburn. It's got to be old Hugh. Back-to-back weeks.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
You had him beat.
That was a bad. You're talking about the defensive play call at the end?
I'm talking about both, man. I'm talking about the muffed punt that put him in that position in the first place. And then, the defensive call. Like, come on. That's your hand-picked coordinator.
I'm going to go with, well, we're just going to give Auburn War Eagle then.
Yeah, it's Auburn.
Yeah, that one has to hurt, man.
It does.
Auburn, this week's
Unrealized
moment.
idea.
I'll say this, though, man. Hugh is going to get Nick.
Man, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Man, they played Georgia well.
Yeah, they're going to be good, man. They're going to be good. They're going to do some work in the portal.
Oh, yeah. You want to go there next?
I mean, we can. We can.
All right.
If you want, man. It's getting crazy out there.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time. Portal's opening up.
It's time.
It's time.
Portal Combat! All right.
There we are.
It's Portal Combat.
Portal combat time.
Trademark.
The big one. Yeah, trademark. Don't even try to take it. The big guy right now making all the headlines is Cam Ward from Washington State. I guess the report is that he had, like within a day, that 10, 11 different offers of $1 million plus. And he had Matt Rule come out today and said, if a decent QB in the portal is going anywhere from 1 to 2 million.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah,
You're gonna have a lot of that.
There's also some other rumored entries.
Oh,
Keep an eye out for Trevor Etienne, man.
Ooh.
Yeah. The school I'm hearing a lot is Michigan.
Oh. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I think he wants to win something of substance and look like an NFL back.
All right.
Also look for Florida State to be pretty active on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about that is, you don't want to look in. You got an ACC championship to look forward to.
Yeah,
So that's one thing about these teams that are not doing well, or if you're not playing for something, this is that season where I'm not playing in the bowl game. I'm transferring
out,
looking for another deal because you're in a semi-pro league with no rules now, pretty much.
Yeah, you got to have any speck of talent, and you're at a G5 school.
It's no rules, man. It's transfer portal time. It's portal combat.
It's gonna get wild.
It's gonna get crazy.
Van Dyke's in the portal.
Yeah, Van Dyke. Van Dyke's in the portal, man.
Where's he gonna end up?
I thought maybe SMU.
Nah, man.
No,
nah.
that was just speculation.
They got a QB, even with a broke leg. They got a guy.
That was speculation, man.
Yeah. grains of salt and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, we want to go there. Do you got any more
Speculation?
Yeah.
We got some coaching speculation.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Hot speculation, grain of salt. Hot speculation, grain of salt. Hot speculation, grain of salt. Well, so you got some coaching?
Yeah, the Houston job. We just talked about old Dana
Yeah.
getting the axe.
Right.
Looked like Willie Fritz was going to be that guy. He still may be in play. The rumor was that he would take the job and take Michael Pratt, the QB from Tulane, with him. But now Cliff Kingsbury's name's starting to get mentioned there with that one. But apparently
Kingsbury.
he's got a couple offers there. You
Yeah.
know, Mike Elko has him targeted as the offensive coordinator for A&M.
Well, yeah, that's where he's going.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
That's where he wants to be.
But Houston's going
He's
to
been the head coach in the NFL, man. He
Yeah,
doesn't want that stress
I
anymore.
don't think the money is something.
He's going to get paid just to chill in Texas. He's from Texas, isn't he?
Yeah.
He seems like, he's
Played-
going to
played
just
at
chill. Now he can call plays, just recruit quarterbacks, just
hit on moms, everything he likes to do.
I guarantee that. He's going right there.
Yeah. So it
That's
seems
perfect
like
for
it
him.
still seems like Willie Fritz is probably the guy at Houston, which
Fritz is Houston.
opens up that Tulane job, which may or may not be news for Florida State. I mean, I think Atkins would be one of their targets. Blake
He's
Baker,
going to be somebody's target.
yeah, Blake Baker, defensive coordinator at Missouri, has also been rumored for that job. Tulane, a lot. Like
Who?
Blake Baker, Missouri's defensive coordinator. So it might not be a slam dunk that Atkins gets the look.
No. Okay.
But yeah, man, it's gonna between transfer portal and guys losing their jobs, stepping down. It's gonna, Sean Lewis already.
Also, but we also have Petrino going back to Arkansas.
There you go.
And what was Jimbo Fisher's last-ditch effort is now Pittman's last-ditch effort at Arkansas, and he's going back to be this offensive coordinator, as everyone remembers of him in that daggum neck brace
Yeah,
off
man.
a motorcycle accident
I don't think I've ever
at Arkansas.
nothing like that's ever
Full
happened
circle,
before.
man.
Like, who gets fired as a head coach and then comes back to that school as a coordinator?
Well, you're seeing now that we're doing NIL, we're paying, winning it matters. Coaches are making all sorts of money. So he's good. Coaches know that he's a good play caller. He developed some of the better quarterbacks that we've ever seen. I mean,
Yeah, he did.
honestly. So,
What was it, 10 years ago that he did that?
yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson,
Okay.
he had, what was that guy?
He's the guy that made Lamar Jackson freakishly fast.
He took him at quarterback.
Yeah, he took him at quarterback.
That was
his. I will
best
give him
decision he
credit.
ever
I
made.
will give him credit because his old
Other
boss.
people didn't want to.
You mean his old boss, Jimbo, who wanted to make him a wide receiver?
That's right.
Yeah.
That was his best move, was putting Lamar at quarterback.
Yep.
Now he's going back to Arkansas. He's there today.
Yeah, he is. They're gonna be in the market for a QB. KJ Jefferson's jumped in the portal, so they got to figure that out. But hey, it's just crazy to me, man.
What else? So you got that's some good speculation on some coaches. Holgorsen's fired along with Jimbo. Fritz going to Houston.
That's a big rumor. I don't know. Q's has already hired their guy.
Who they got?
Fran Brown from UGA, the defensive backs coach.
No, that's not funny.
No.
I thought it was going to be Dan Mullen.
Nah, I think he's too expensive for some of these schools, man. He's
figuring out that he's got the gig right now.
Yeah, he's got the gig right now. These smaller schools aren't going to be able to pay.
You think Jimbo will get back in the coaching?
I think that, I think he will.
I think he'll take a year off.
At least a year until somebody's desperate enough to take a swing. I'm looking at West Virginia.
Got some money to spend.
Yeah, I can't think Neil Brown is going to last too much longer up there. And then the question becomes, are they going to let him hire his little brother? And then all three of the Trickett boys?
All right, well, let's look at Louisville.
All right.
This matchup, it's going to be something, man. Tate Rodemaker and the Florida State offense against that Louisville defense. Who scares you on that Louisville defense?
Ashton Gelati, first guy that jumps out. 11 sacks, product of Boca Raton, Florida. Yeah, really underrated guy, but he's scary coming off that edge. They got a lot of just ham and eggers up there on the defensive line that will just work you to death. Both of their lines scare me. You know, powerful, big, experienced, and they got skill players, man. You know, Kevin Coleman, he's sudden, but Jamari Thrash is the guy. That back end on their for the defense, though, I think there's a way to attack them if you can.
Thrash is the big play receiver, man.
Yeah, he's the transfer from Georgia State. You know, they got some other guys out there. I think they got another guy with 4 touchdowns. I can't remember his name, but you know, Chris Bell is
Where's
another
the
big
best
play
place
receiver.
to attack them on defense?
Man, I think you got to get middle of the field linebackers. The same
We
kind
need to
of
throw the Florida State needs to throw the ball
tight ends,
a
man.
little bit more.
Yeah, you have to, but it's hard if Rodemaker isn't going to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah,
Internal clock and move
he's not.
things.
It's going to be a neutral field. It shouldn't be in it. The environment should be a little more friendly to make adjustments, to make calls.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Wiggles got out. He got the Wiggles out a little bit, and I think they should speed things up, run a little more pace. You just missed Jordan Travis.
Yeah, you do. You miss them. Defensively, they're going to have to, you know, they're going to have to get off the field in the first quarter. You can't have this, and pretty much you can't have any quarter where you're only running 3 plays. That's going to be
Right.
trouble,
Right.
unless it's 2 plays and a touchdown, man.
Louisville has those guys that can make the big play.
Yeah, they do. They have
That's
big play at receiver, big play at
you
running
have
back.
to limit that. That's been
Jawar Jordan, Isaac Garindo, man, he's a battering ram, so they have a nice 1-2 punch in the
Florida
running game.
State's defense needs to continue what it's done is holding teams to field goals, if anything, and because they've been just stout and they're limiting big plays and not turning the ball over. Only 5 turnovers all year leads the country. So
Yeah, you gotta
continue to do that. That was the best thing I liked about Rodemaker against Florida was he didn't do anything bad. He didn't mess it up.
Yeah, let the
But
strengths
this week
be
you're
the
going to have to
strengths.
do something. Is that fair? He's going to have to score. You can't drop touchdowns here. You know, you're going to have to deliver some timely throws into that secondary.
I think it's fair that
Make
you're
them
not
pay, 'cause
just
they're not going to.
you're not gonna be able to just rely on Trey Benson.
They're going to try to shut Benson down.
yeah,
That's got to be number one if you're Louisville on defense.
but
Right, I mean-
yeah, oh yeah.
You want to see
Now that Travis is out of the picture, man, Trey Benson becomes the number 1 guy out there that can hurt you.
right.
Because even if Keon Coleman's out there or Johnny Wilson, like you still got to rely on Rodemaker to get him the ball. You know, but you can get Benson the ball immediately. So you got to focus. Yeah, that's going to be their number 1 priority is do not let number 3 get loose. You know, when he gets the ball, gang tackle, and that comes with being aggressive. So you got to get the
Aggressive
ball
and
out
assertive.
early and
And assertive,
take some
man.
shots,
Don't be
man.
afraid to pull it down and run. That's one thing haven't seen. I do like the way Brock does that, the read option play.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, if you need to scratch that out of the playbook with Rodemaker or not, I don't know. But
it's something that's just not.
Hopefully he's
I
a
don't
little more
think
decisive.
they're gonna scratch it. It's just the look that they like to give. You know, that stretch run play. It's just
maybe he needs to take it down and be more
he does.
aggressive in it. Yeah.
and it's, you know, like I know when people are critical of Jordan Travis, you know, sometimes there's a linebacker waiting back there, but there was a couple times against Florida where Tate had wide open field, and you got to pull it, man.
Right.
I know you want to just hand it to Trey and let him do his thing, but you got to pull it. There's 18 yards there to get it. Get it.
Louisville's, let's talk about Plummer, the quarterback. third team all ACC.
Yeah.
Had a solid year. They pretty much win unless he doesn't turn it over. Both losses, he's turned it over.
He does have 11 interceptions on the year,
so that's going to be a key for Florida State. They can get some turnovers.
He's accurate when he's on. Deceptively mobile. He's not a juke you out of your shoes and then burn you downfield or any of that, man. But he can pick up a first down if it's there. He's not a statue back there. But I'm thinking back to the season outside of Jaden Daniels. I don't know if we've played a QB that's as good as he is all season. Riley Leonard maybe. I don't know if he was as good throwing the ball as Plummer has been.
You're not gonna have the advantage of going against a new quarterback.
No, and Brian Brom is a really good play caller.
Yes.
We'll
find out. You're going against two really good play callers. One of them doesn't have their quarterback, but Florida State is deep. They have a lot of other guys that you just have to get the ball to. Get the ball to these playmakers. They have them all over the field, at every position.
Yes, balls to the wall, man. This last game, you got to just put everything out there.
Johnny Wilson. Is there going to be a guy in that receiving room that can step up and be that third guy, maybe to make a big play? You've seen.
That's going to be a key, man.
Well,
is who?
Jakai.
Can you get? Can you get a guy that can do it the whole game and just eat up yards? Jaheim Bell.
Come through Jaheim Bell.
He's nowhere near 100%, so you don't know how much you're going to be able to rely on him. Morlock is at times still kind of lost out there. Somebody from the receiving group is going to have to come through.
Right.
So we'll see, man.
Deuce gets loose, or God forbid Destin Hill.
Anybody. Somebody just step up from that slot position, man, and do some work.
Maybe some big plays from that position.
Wherever Brownlee's lining up, I think you got to throw at him. Make him prove that he's not still terrible at the position.
Well,
we had to go.
Gotta get on out of here. But this is it. Championship week. Alabama.
Yeah.
Georgia. Or a playoff game.
Yeah, it's playoff.
We'll see.
Semifinal.
I think Georgia's gonna win.
I do too.
We'll see if Jalen Monroe can carve that secondary up for Georgia. That's gonna come down to. Can he throw on Georgia?
Well, I don't anticipate Georgia sitting back at all. I think they're gonna bring it at him every play.
Oh, yeah.
So they're gonna force the issue, man. Because you saw what Auburn did late in the game. You can't let him rear back and throw it, man.
No.
Dude will put it anywhere on a laser.
You got a rifle cannon.
Yeah. And then some.
Right. Texas.
Laser blades, man.
Against the Cowboys of Oklahoma State, I think Texas is going to roll.
That's the safe bet, but, man, it wouldn't surprise me if Gundy just pulled something out, just because that's how Oklahoma State is. We lose 45-3 to UCF, but we still managed to find our way to the...
Right.
We still beat Oklahoma, and
then we got a rematch. Oregon, like 9.5 favorite.
Yeah.
Wow. Everybody's expecting Oregon to roll.
They've looked better.
They have.
Since the loss, but, it's hard to beat a team twice, man. We all know that, but I think people are underestimating Washington just because they played close games.
Right.
You know it. Still win, dude. Nobody's gotten them yet.
College hoops. The Hurricanes came up short last night, and Kentucky hit a buzzsaw, man, in Kentucky.
Were they in Lexington?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Tonight.
So that kind of shit is almost not even fair.
It'll be at the DLTCC. The Noles against the Bulldogs on the hardwood.
What do we know about that? I know they got DeLoach's little brother.
9-15.
Or is it his twin brother?
I don't know. Brother.
It's his brother.
We'll go to that. We'll talk about that maybe.
I'm looking forward
later in
to
the
it.
week. We got NFL picks tomorrow. We'll look at the games again before the games start.
Oh man, we got to touch on one real quick, dude.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Willie Simmons, SWAC Coach of the Year.
That's right. Shout out to Willie Simmons and FAMU. We're going to preview the SWAC Championship too. And we'll talk to you next time right here on the North Florida Sports Network.
We had to go. Our ride was here. We got a shuttle to our